Hello, I'm Hikylabur and welcome back to Hikylabur, where I'm realizing my potential while protecting my mental. Thank you for tuning in today as I continue to invite you to feel real still. Feel all that you are, show up as your authentic self, and be present because that is all we have. Thank you for this beautiful moment, for your presence. Sometimes we don't get that. So thank you for showing up today. I am so grateful to be in this moment of my life. I am approaching midterms in my last semester of college, and I've been really reminding myself, as I do in these episodes, my dad says all the time, you're really talking to yourself because, well, you're preaching your own sermon. Go back and listen to what you said. That is what you need to hear in this moment when you're anxious, when you are down, because there's beautiful in uncertainty. And I'm so grateful to be fully stepping into what I want to do in the direction that I want to go in, trusting what God has placed on my heart, and to allow the things, the opportunities, the moments to unfold as they may. But overall, I'm just going to keep showing up, finish strong, just graduate. There's power in trusting the process, power in perseverance, and understanding that we have to pivot along the way. And we also have to believe in ourselves and our own capabilities. And that is the inspiration behind me sharing my childhood nickname with you all and its origins. My dad and some of his friends call me Wolf or Woofy. I got this name around 7th or 8th grade. It was around the time I told my dad I wanted to start playing sports. And that was a name he had given himself. He gives himself animal names to entertain his friends while he's on the golf course, but to also channel his inner spirit at the moment. So he was Big Wolf and I became Baby Wolf. And that has been something not only in the arena of sports, but throughout life, I've taken with me to not only understand the beauty in the family aspect that comes with wolves, literally like the wolf pack. Hence, my dad wanted me to understand that we are a team. We are here together. You are not alone. He still calls himself the wolf, Big Wolf every now and then. He's pivoted to another name. He's the bear now, but I remain Wolf. And there's been a statement that we have said to each other, and also the title of this episode, WolfOUT. What does that mean? That was always said to me in the context of understanding that whatever you do in this moment, it was usually before a basketball game. If I went to took a test in the classroom, my dad would tell me, hey, Key. Key is also another nickname that I have. Hey, Key, wolf out. And to me, that would tap into my inner confidence, my inner courage to show up as my best self, to go for it, to believe in myself in that moment, to show up with whatever I had. And I want to share that with you as I'm inspired to build a community. I've decided to go with the Wolf Pack. Personal to me, there's multiple Wolf Packs out there, but this one over here, we are a wolf family as you continue on with Hikylabur and continue to interact with me and watch me grow. And I hope to watch you all grow in whatever ways that God has for my platform to continue growing. And next is another story to bolster this message. It was on my heart this week. It was the first time I shot a score in the 70s on the golf course. So like I mentioned, if you're unfamiliar, the target score in golf is 72, and the lower the score, the better. And at this moment in my life, I never shot a score in the 70s ever, but I knew I could do it. And so at this moment, this was about August of 2021, I want to say. It was the summer after my freshman year, the summer I got 3 golf coaches. I was working till sundown every night and was ready to see the strides in my game, the improvement. And so this was about early August, still summertime, haven't quite started sophomore fall yet. But I played in this golf tournament called the Par Makers in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I've played in it 3 years now, but I believe this was my first time playing in the tournament. And this was also the time in my college career where I decided I want to become a professional golfer. So hence all of the sports training that I went through that summer. And my father wanted to introduce me to this woman that was also playing in the tournament. She had been trained. She had some accolades behind her name. And she's like, it would be great to introduce yourself. Tell her what you want to do. And maybe you can form a connection, right? Right. And usually when you tell people your aspirations, especially older people, at least from my experience, they're like, oh, that's cool. Or they give you uplifting words. But this scenario, we're going to name her Lana. Just the first name on my head, so I don't want to say her real name, but Lana, Miss Lana. I was like, hi, my name is Hikylabur. I go to Rhodes College and I want to become a professional golfer. She looked me dead in my face and was like, no, you don't. You don't want to become a professional golfer. And I was taken aback. I was like, no, I don't. What do you mean? I'm introducing myself. I don't know you, first of all. And I'm telling you what I am set out to do. I've been practicing all summer. She just immediately said, no, you don't. And the day prior, I believe we had a practice round, and she observed me. I believe in a life full of balance, no matter what anyone has told me otherwise. She observed me hanging out with my boyfriend after a practice round. And her follow-up statement to no, you don't was, if you really want to be a professional golfer, you would have been on that putting green practicing for our round today. And I was like, well, okay. I didn't know how to assert myself in that moment. I think I just brushed it off. But she was in my ear at that moment. She had gotten to my self-confidence and turned it down a notch. So when I came out on the first hole of that round, I believe we started on hole number 18. In tournaments, you start on random holes at times. So we started on 18. It was a par 4. The target score was 4. And I ended up shooting an 8 on that hole. The first shot I hit with my favorite club, my 5 wood, come off the tee with a comfortable shot, out of bounds. I was just off balance. I was like, how could this woman say that to me? That thought stayed with me throughout that hole, and I finished on the first hole of the round, 4 over. I had to go within. It was hole number 18. After that hole, I had to tell her my score, and she kind of smirked at, see, I told you, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. But it wasn't that. It was really, she didn't know me. And I had to remind myself of who I was. It was time for me to wolf out. So got myself together. As we passed the clubhouse before going to the first hole, I went in the bathroom, waited till the other women got out, and I looked me in the mirror face to face and was like, girl, she doesn't know you. You've been working your butt off all summer, working hard, educating yourself, preparing for this moment. And this woman you don't know, whom you have placed on a pedestal based off of whatever my dad said she has accomplished, not to diminish that, but sometimes we put too much value on people. What if Tiger Woods said that to me before the game? And then now Tiger, because he's Tiger, can tell me how good I am. So after looking myself in the mirror and saying, Kyla, it's okay. I like to do challenges with myself. I know in basketball, sometimes in practice, we would pretend we were 10 down or something. We have to come back, right? So I said, let's do a little challenge here. We're 4 strokes down. We're 4 over at this moment. Let's see if I can get that down throughout this round and minimize it, manage it at least. Throughout this round, I don't remember what I immediately did. I believe I parred the next hole. I either parred it or bogeyed. Parred, I got the target score. Bogey, I got 1 over. So I know throughout the round, I didn't have a pristine round to where I just shot lights out and perfect on every hole. I had a few more high holes, but I also had some low holes in there, and I ended up finishing that round 6 over. So I shot 7 over, 79. Target score is 72. So I ended up accumulating 3 more strokes on top of that 4 over, somewhere less throughout the succeeding 17 holes. And so that's the summary of the story. I ended up placing second to Miss Lana. That's okay. I'd done something I'd never done before, 1. 2, I had to remind myself of who I was. I had to rekindle my focus back to what I had been doing. No one can ever know what exactly you do behind closed doors, whether they know you personally. Now, if my dad would have said that, or someone I was more familiar with, this would have probably been a different story. But still, it would have been something where I had to remind myself of what I had been working on. I'd been putting the work in. But if it wasn't for me to go in that mirror and refocus my energy onto the positive, onto who I was, into my inner knowing, into believing myself and my capabilities, that round would have probably kept going up and up. Another high hole after another high hole. So today, to keep it short and sweet, and whatever you do, wolf out. You're part of the wolf pack now. Whatever you set up to do, go for it. In all of your abilities and all of your fullness, because only you know what you're capable of, as well as what no one can tell you what God has placed on your heart. For me, in this present moment of my life, which I started out reminding myself of uncertainty, especially this week, as I've been getting a little more anxious than I have in the previous weeks. I'm getting more closer and closer to graduation every day. And I had to stop and say, whatever boxes, such as career paths, are set out in front of me, and lately they haven't been exactly what I want to do, because I'm in the type of motivation space. People are like, oh, so you want to be a life coach? Not exactly. I like talking. I want to be in the media space. I don't really know what is next for me or where this is going to go. But I also know that whatever that path looks like for Kyla will unfold itself when it's time. By the time graduation comes, I don't know where I'm going to be, but I trust and believe that God has a plan for me. So I share that story of my first time shooting in the 70s, doing something I never done before, winning second place in a tournament. Never did that before either. But it was a real moment of growth for me to remind myself of who I was, no matter who was in front of me. So as you set forth this week, remind yourself of what you're capable of. And the affirmation to take with you is, I'm betting on me. I believe in myself and my capabilities. As you start to do that, and as I told you or encouraged you last episode to start declaring your worth confidently and asserting it wherever you are, you have to continue that by believing in yourself and where you're going. So thank you for tuning in today. Again, I'm Hikylabur Pack. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is my last release of Black History Month, which is why I had to bring out Miss Angela Davis inspired Afro or 70s, whatever you want to call it. But I wanted to be myself today, be bold in my naturalness and my fullness, and just continue to be amazed with the beautiful things that my hair can do. It surprises me every day. Once I started to accept it for what it was and stop trying to force fit it into other boxes and just allow it to be free, because that is what I'm trying to do in my life here on until I no longer roam this earth, is to be free, be fluid, allow life to flow, and to have faith in wherever I go. So thank you for tuning in. You can follow me on my socials at Hikylabur. I'll be releasing, I believe, 10 more episodes of this season. It's surreal. I'm going to be into single digits again on the tail end side of this, getting into I'm wrapping up and just going with the flow, having a plan and trusting that it's going to work out. So have a great week. I'll see you next time. Thanks.